Okay, so I know I said, I believe last week, that I retired the Grifter of the Week segment, but this is just too good to not talk about Grifter of the Week. This is Senator Josh Hawley, who is sometimes called by great people, they say Greek people, they call him Sedition Josh Hawley, primarily because he is seditious, let's say, due to his actions during January 6th and the Capitol riots. As long as he could stop the steal, he was so in favor of what happened on January 6th. So not only is Josh Hawley completely off the walls, he is also considered a populist by some on the right. Now, I don't really know what's populist about opposing infrastructure, but supposedly there's something there. I believe he says that it's woke, and that's his main argument against the infrastructure bill. He just starts throwing out woke, 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 woke. So basically, when you're getting outflanked on the left by Mitch McConnell, you need to begin wondering, are you really a populist, or are you just, let's say, a partisan hack? Let's take a look at this video of Senator Josh Hawley going completely crazy on infrastructure.
It's not really about infrastructure at all. It's about woke politics. Why is President Biden so enthusiastically for it?
Because it's his bill, because it's the agenda that he created. And then the other thing is, it's a good bill, number one. So just because President Biden is for it doesn't mean that you have to be against it. And this was a bill that was made by Sinema and Rob Portman. Sinema is a moderate Democrat. Portman's a conservative Republican. So I don't even know what he's saying here. Portman's more conservative economically than Hawley.
Because it advances his far-left agenda. The Green New Deal, elements of it across this bill, the climate change.
Okay, that's so funny, right? Because the only climate provisions that I can think of in this bill are like electric vehicle charging ports. Is that really this Green New Deal? I thought they hated the Green New Deal because it banned beef in cars, not because it allowed for electric vehicles to charge. What a silly, completely unserious person, as we mentioned last week with the Republican nihilism video.
Change agenda. It's stuffed into this bill. Quotas for this, that, and the other in this bill. So
what is he talking about? He's just using the word quota. I don't know what he's saying. Quotas for this, that, and the other. Okay, that's not a way to oppose a bill, to say this, that, and the other. What is he even talking about?
This is a bill that is about the woke political agenda of the left. It is...
I mean, he sounds like a Fox newscaster. There's no difference between him and Sean Hannity. There's no difference.
Being paid for with this massive pork barrel spending, and I just hope
And he uses the word pork barrel like it's 2010, like he's a Tea Party guy in 2010. Oh my God.
Republicans will open their eyes to what's actually in the bill. You know, when you get a bill this late in the process that's 2,700 plus pages long.
So if you start talking about the length of a bill to oppose it, you're an idiot, because you can just read the summary of the bill, because every bill comes with a summary, including this one.
Sometimes it's tempting.
I think we read it at the top of this, the fact sheet. That one came from the White House, but the Congressional Budget Office comes out with one too.
Not to actually look and see what's in the bill. Folks should look and see what's in this bill.
They should look and see what's in this bill. Okay, it's a 2,700 page bill. I doubt you read it all. You listed this, that, and the other as your objection. What are you talking about, Josh? Are you completely insane? Are you completely crazy? The answer is yes. He's completely insane. He's completely crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Let's continue.
I think it's going to be awfully hard to explain to Republican voters.
I'll agree with him. It is going to be awfully hard to explain to Republican voters because Republican voters are very partisan. And they hear Democrats signed on to the bill and they go insane. That being said, Republicans support infrastructure. They support infrastructure generally. They support roads and bridges funding. They support all this different funding for airports and ports. So what are you even talking about, Josh? It seems like you're talking about something bad. That because Republican voters, as most voters are, I'm not going to just blame Republicans, although Republicans are worse with it. Just because Republicans are partisan doesn't mean that you shouldn't vote for bills that are partisan.
That we have gone along, or some Republicans have gone along with this kind of an agenda. This sort of a social agenda, this kind of a pork barrel spending.
I guess infrastructure is a social agenda if you don't know what the word social means.
And so I think it's absolutely vital that Republicans take a principled stand and say we're not going to be part of Joe Biden's left-wing agenda. We're not going to...
I'm taking a very principled stand against this, that, and the other. I cannot name anything but Green New Deal, Green Dream. I cannot stand Josh Hawley, and that's the reason why. Because if you're this hurt, this absolutely angry, furious, you can tell that he's furious despite the fact that his tone of voice is just completely monotone, but he's acting so pompous, so outraged. It's so stupid because it's just completely idiotic. If Biden wasn't president and Trump pushed for this bill, Hawley would vote for it. It comes down to that, and we all know it.
They advance his woke political agenda. We're going to stand up for the principles that we share and believe in as Americans. We're going to stand up.
Yes, we're going to stand up for the principles that we believe in as Americans, like having the worst infrastructure of any developed country in the world.
For some basic fiscal responsibility, and for those reasons, we're going to vote no on this bill. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so for anyone who thinks that Josh Hawley is a populist and he just doesn't scream woke, 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 there is your proof. Never, ever, ever tell me that Josh Hawley is a populist, because if you do, I will laugh in your face and I will show you this video. And with that, thank you for watching or listening to In Progress with me, Raymond Perez. You can find me on Instagram at @RealRaymondPerez or follow me on Twitter at @RealRPerez for more political content. You can follow the show on Twitter at InProgressRP. You can also listen to In Progress with Raymond Perez wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, and Pocket Casts, or you can find us on YouTube by searching In Progress with Raymond Perez. I will be there next week if you will, and remember that the change we need to see is always in progress. Thank you for watching.